Hi, welcome to Anaprime Recap. The crazy bear at the elite school continues his game with the students, and more the number of imposters is decreasing. We continue our dark adventure with reports from the anime Danganronpa, episodes 6 and 7. The students were in the cafeteria mourning the death of their classmates. That week, Fujisaki and Awada had been eliminated. The group was getting smaller and smaller, and the chances of them making it out of that school alive were also decreasing. Principal Monokuma appears on the big screen and asks the students to gather in the gym. When they get there, they find the bear sitting under a pile of money. Monokuma informs the students that this was the prize he would give to the student who manages to graduate. Remembering that to graduate from that high school you have to eliminate one of your classmates without being discovered. The second option was to leave the outside world once and for all and accept to live the rest of his life in that school together with his classmates and the crazy principal. After this news, Isahina reveals to the other students that the night before she met the ghost of her dead friend, Fujisaki. She takes them to the public locker room and informs them that the ghost was in one of the lockers. While they are searching, Naegi finds a computer. Kirigiri soon realizes that that room, unlike all the others, had no security cameras. As such, it was the perfect place to hide something from the director. Upon turning on the computer, the students are surprised to find an avatar of Fujisaki, named Alter Ego. Fujisaki was a super programmer and had picked up that broken computer from the library to fix it. When the device was working again, he installed an artificial intelligence program whose mission was to analyze the encrypted files on the hard disk of that computer. That way, the students could use that information to find a way out of that place. Alter Ego informs the students that it has found a picture among the already decoded files. In the picture were Leon, Awada and Fujisaki. The strange thing was that all those kids had already been eliminated and, in theory, none of them knew each other before entering that school. The students theorize whether they could be alive somewhere, but Kirigiri states that this is impossible as they themselves have checked the bodies of their classmates. The next morning, Kirigiri questions Yamada about why he used Alter Ego the night before. The boy justifies it by saying that this was the first time he had been able to talk to someone for so long. At that moment, Ishimaru enters the room and interrupts the conversation. After the death of Awada, his best friend, he began to reproduce the boy's personality. The boy also wanted to use Alter Ego to gain access to his late friend's avatar. Before he died, Fujisaki had entered information about the personality of each of his colleagues, so the computer was able to reproduce the characteristics of all of them. Faced with the situation, Kirigiri creates a new rule that forbids students from entering the public changing room alone. Already in his room, Naegi has her hopes renewed. Seconds later, Hagakure appears in his room acting very strangely. He invites the boy to take a bath and, at the same time, shows him a note saying that they need to talk. The boys head to the public locker room and there, away from the cameras, Hagakure and Naegi join the other students. Kirigiri informs them that the computer was missing, and Yamada accuses Ishimaru of having stolen it. Kirigiri interrupts the discussion by saying that neither of them could be to blame, as she had instructed the Alter Ego to scream if either of them tried to access it. Tagami theorizes that there was a traitor among them, who had stolen the device. He also says that for that game to run smoothly, there had to be a student on the inside. The next morning, the students arrange a meeting in the kitchen, but most of them don't show up. The quartet then decides to go look for them. On the third floor, Asahina finds Celestia lying on the floor. Soon after, Naegi and Sakura appear and ask the girl who it was that attacked her. Celestia says she could not identify the culprit, but he used a toy hammer. She further tells that Yamada was with her, and after attacking them, the assailant took the boy to the second floor. The students go there to look for him and find the boy with a bloody head. On the ground beside him, Naegi spots a hammer identical to the one that was used to knock out Celestia. Yamada says that someone dressed as a superhero attacked him. Celestia shows a picture she took with a digital camera found in the game room. The image recorded the moment Yamada was attacked by the justice robot. While the boy recovered in the infirmary, the other students searched for the culprit. Celestia screams, and when her colleagues go to her, the girl says that the imposter has run off into the hallway. Seconds later, they hear Yamada's scream. When they arrive at the infirmary, the boy was dead with a fractured skull and, once again, a hammer was found at the scene. Naegi rushes to warn the other students about what happened, but ends up finding another victim. Ishimaru was dead in the warehouse with the same skull fracture, and the weapon used in the crime had also been a hammer. Beside him were Tagami, Sakura and Fukawa, who had fainted at the sight of all that blood. When they returned to the infirmary, Celestia reports that Yamada's body had disappeared while she and Asahina were in the bathroom. The girl says that if it continues like this, all the students would be eliminated like them. Tagami then tells her that Ishimaru had also been eliminated. Back at the warehouse, the students discover that the other body had also disappeared. Tagami notes that only Hagakure and Kirigiri could be the culprits for those crimes, since the two were the only ones not there among them. Naegi claims that Kirigiri was with them in the dining hall at the time Celestia and Yamada were attacked. Therefore, Hagakure was the only one who could be accused. The rules stated that a person could eliminate a maximum of 2 of his colleagues. Therefore, there could be no more deaths at that time. The students split up to look for the bodies, and Celestia finds them. Soon after, the rest of the class arrives and Asahina realizes that Yamada is still alive. The boy begins to rave, saying that he has known them before he entered that school. Before he dies for good, he reveals that the real culprit for attacking him was Yasuhiro. That was Hagakure's last name. After finding the bodies, the students had some time to investigate, before the principal summoned them for trial. The youngsters take advantage of this interval to look for Hagakure and Kirigiri, who were also not among them. While investigating, Naegi is approached by the girl, who asks him to gather the other students. The girl opens the closet door and shows that she has found the robot that had attacked her classmates. Upon removing the helmet, they discover that Hagakure was inside. Naegi realizes that the costume was stuck on the outside, which means that the boy would not be able to put it on by himself. Hagakure tells that the night before, he received an invitation to meet someone in that room. When he got there, he was attacked from behind and passed out. When he woke up, he was already wearing that costume. Tagami asks him to show them this invitation, but Hagakure cannot find it to prove his innocence. While the students were accusing the boy, Kirigiri goes to analyze the bodies. Naegi goes after her and informs her that they both died from a blow to the head. The girl finds a note that Ishimaru was holding in. After analyzing the crime scene, she proceeds with the other students to the room where the trial would take place. At first, most students point to Hagakure as the perpetrator of the crimes, using as an argument the name Yamada uttered seconds before he died. Naegi refutes this theory by saying that the imposter used a cart to move Ishimaru and Yamada's bodies. This was clear from the wheel stains on the floor and the fact that the cart was soiled with blood. However, it would be almost impossible for Hagakure to move the cart while wearing that robot costume. Therefore, he could not be to blame. The students remember the photo taken by Celestia, where Yamada was attacked by the justice robot, but Kirigiri asks them to look at other possibilities before pointing out the imposter. After all, if they made a wrong judgment, everyone would be eliminated except the real culprit. Celestia says that besides Hagakure, only Kirigiri could have committed that crime, because the girl was alone when the other students found the bodies. The girl defends herself by saying that even using a cart, she would never be able to move a gigantic body like Yamada's from the 2nd floor to the 3rd floor. She further states that the only one able to move his own weight was Yamada, which means that he walked up to the 3rd floor on his own. Celestia claims that the boy was dead, because she had checked him herself. According to the young woman, it was impossible that he had faked it. Naegi makes an observation. He says that the first time they found Yamada's body, in the infirmary, the boy's glasses were soiled with blood. Later, when his body was found together with Ishimaru, his glasses were clean, which was evidence that Yamada had cleaned his glasses to get to the 3rd floor. Asahina asks where all that blood that was on the boy's head could have come from, and Tagami recalls that there were bags of blood stored in the infirmary's refrigerator. Kirigiri claims to have evidence that Yamada participated in that crime as being guilty. She reveals that she found one piece of paper in Ishimaru's hands and the other piece was hidden in Yamada's underwear. Upon seeing the note, Hagakure says that that note told them to meet at a different location than the one he had received. Kirigiri deduces that Yamada had called Ishimaru to the scene to eliminate him. He then sent another note to Hagakure so they could capture him and trap him in that costume. In this way, the boy would take the blame for the crime. Asahina recalls that those hammers were listed, and according to the order of the numbers, Yamada had been killed before Ishimaru. But Naegi says that the imposter had probably listed it that way to confuse them. In fact, Ishimaru was the first to be eliminated by Yamada. Then the boy was killed by someone they have not yet been able to identify. Moreover, Yamada had not been a mere victim. The boy had helped carry Ishimaru's body, making him an accomplice to the crime. But who was the psychopath who tricked Yamada into helping him commit the crime? As Naegi asks himself this question, he remembers the moment when he discovered that Yamada's body had disappeared. Before the boys even told them that Ishimaru had also been eliminated, Celestia said that if they didn't find the culprit soon, all the students would end up dead like them, referring to Ishimaru and Yamada. But how did the girl know that Ishimaru was dead if the body had just been found by Tagami and Sakura? When questioned, Celestia says that Naegi has a vivid imagination and asks how he explains that photo taken at the moment when the robot attacks Yamada. The boy says that that photo, in fact, could be a record of Yamada carrying the robot costume. When she realizes that she is being accused, the girl completely freaks out. She recalls that before she died, Yamada revealed the name of the real culprit, Yasuhiro, which was Hagakuri's surname. Naegi strikes back by saying that it could be someone else's last name, including Celes's, because the girl had so far not revealed her full name. She claims her name is Celestia Ludenberg, but when Naegi asks her to show them her electronic card, the girl refuses. This card recorded the real name of each student. When she realizes she has been unmasked, Celes admits her defeat, claiming that she is not a bad loser. The students then take a vote, and Celes is found guilty. Monokuma reveals that the girl's real name is Yasuhiro Teiko. The girl had stolen the alter ego and placed it in Ishimaru's room to convince Yamada to kill him. She also tells the boy that Ishimaru forced her to steal the device, since Kirigiri had programmed it to sound an alarm if he or Yamada tried to take it. The youngsters then form an alliance to take revenge. The plan was that Yamada would pretend to have narrowly escaped death, and while he was being interrogated, Celes would kill someone and he would be free of suspicion. During the trial, no one would be able to point out the real culprit. In this way, the other students would be eliminated and they could get out of that school alive. But from the very beginning, Celes had planned to discard Yamada. The girl always said that the students should accept their lives in that school so that no one else would have to die, but in fact she had been plotting all this time to get out of there. She further tells that she had a dream of buying a western castle and living there for the rest of her life. So when Monokuma offered all that money to the student who could graduate, she decided to expedite her plan. Before heading to her cruel fate, the girl hands Kirigiri a key that belonged to the cabinet where she had hidden the alter ego. Celes never wanted to die in an ordinary way. Her goal was that when her time came, it would be in a glamorous way. Therefore, she was happy to find that she would be eliminated in a bonfire, but before the fire could consume her body, the director sends a fire truck in her direction and the girl is run over. Even her last dream Celes could not fulfill. Tagami remains suspicious that there is a student infiltrating the school. According to him, this is the only way Monokuma could have complete control of the game. What do you think about this theory? So, what did you think of this anime? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like it and subscribe for more anime recaps. See you next time.